Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Fusion of Honor, where we talk about everything that happens in MLW and Ring of Honor. Now, guys, we are getting closer and closer to figuring out who is going to be our final two at Death Before Dishonor when we determine our Ring of Honor World Women's Champion. We have two quarterfinal matches this week. We now know who will be facing Rok-C between Angelina Love and Maxine Paler, and we now know who will be facing Miranda Alizé between Tricia, Dora, and Allison, Kaye. And we have to talk about whether or not we have a new Ring of Honor TV champion. But before we can get into any of that, I got to introduce my tag team partner, my co-host. It's the three-time baby-making champ, Ness. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
Doing mighty fine, good brother. True Heels, what is the deal? Yeah, another episode of Ring of Honor. A lot of highs and one really fucking low. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when we get to it.
Yeah, and before we can even talk about Ring of Honor, we actually have some MLW news to get to.
Finally, yeah.
Yes, we now know that making his debut with MLW is none other than former WWE talent Tajiri. I'm sure that is somebody who is going to move the needle like crazy in 2021. Our other news is that your boy Hammer has chosen the time and the place to cash in his Battle Riot opportunity, and it will be October 2nd at Fightland in the 2300 arena.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's in Philly, but I'm assuming it's that at that location, because why would you go anywhere else? If you're in Philly and you're doing wrestling, unless it's a bigger like the 76ers arena. But he will be taking on Jacob Fatu. Now it's kind of interesting because he said during the interview with Alicia too that he was cashing in the Battle Riot shot, and she said that it was going to be the unification match. So I'm not 100% sure whether it will be or won't be, but either way, we do know that our world title, our MLW world title, will be on the line. Ness, how do you feel about Tajiri joining MLW in 2021? Enough said.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I gotta see what Tajiri can bring, like right off the rip. A legend, another legend in wrestling. So it's good to see opportunity. I think he would fit more in MLW out of like. If he showed up anywhere right now in wrestling, I think MLW is the best fit for him. But I just got to see what he can do in 2021 before I'm like, all right, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever, or am I saying this possibly could be the worst thing ever? But we'll give it a chance.
Yeah, we got to give it a chance. And if you guys are liking what you see us do, remember to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. If you have not already, it allows us to do all the fun things that we do for you. And one of the things that we like to do is the super chats. Luckily, I guess in some way, Fusion of Honor is not a live review.
No.
I'm only saying that because about 30 minutes ago I was on Blunt Impact with you and Chris, and we had some really fun super chats. So thank you guys for always going above and beyond when it comes to interacting with us. And we appreciate all that you guys do. And we know that if you are somebody who is a new viewer, you're going to be a viewer for life, because that's just what we like to do. We like to bring you in, in, and once we got you, we don't let you go. And that is something that can happen.
I hate you.
Also,
I hate you.
I
fucking hate you.
Why?
Because that's exactly what happened in this fucking match. It was so stupid, bro. I hate this shit.
That is exactly what can happen.
Oh my god, this is so fucking dumb.
Look. All I remember is a couple weeks ago you were giving me a compliment on my transitions. So now I'm like every single
That was
one
a great
has
transition.
to be a
It was a great, but that's why I hate you so much, because it was such a great transition, and it reminded me of how much I hated the finish to this opening match.
But sometimes, you know, when you just grab hold of somebody, that's what can happen when you get in the ring with Max the Impaler, especially when Amy Rose is telling her what to do. So let's get to it. We have Angelina Love.
And I've hated that since the start of that too. So, like, oh my God.
We've had Angelina Love taking on Max the Impaler. This is our quarterfinal match. During the promo video, Angelina Love is like, yeah, I got an ego, obviously. Like, what do you expect from me? Who the hell is Max the Impaler again? Like, this is I don't know. Like just get this lady out of here. This is ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm even in this match. And we quickly find out why she is in this match. It's because this needs to be. She's in this match, so I can take this screenshot and put it on this review show. This part of the match might have been one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was just like, why is she holding on to this and trying to survive? But this match was just a great car crash kind of moment where you're just like, what is going on? Because throughout this match we had it felt as though Angelina Love, you know, they're both heels, and then Angelina Love is doing the classic "I'm gonna run away" heel, like it's chicken shit heel versus monster heel, and it did not work. It just felt clunky, and the ending of the match makes absolutely no sense. So let's take a step back. Let's think about this. This is a quarterfinals match in a tournament to become the Ring of Honor World Women's Champion. The last thing that you would want to do is get counted out or disqualified. Max the Impaler has Angelina Love in a chokehold around, and Angelina is in the ropes. So the ref is doing the 1, 2, 3. This is around the point where the heel lets go and says, I have till 5. But no, Max the Impaler holds on for the full 5 count. And Amy Rose is like, yeah, do that. Do that shit. Do that. And then all of a sudden the ref's like, well, I'm going to show more of a backbone than Todd Sinclair. You're disqualified. And so they disqualify the monster heel who had been getting over as a monster heel. They push Angelina Love to the next round of this tournament. None of this makes any sense, especially when you consider how well booked Ring of Honor is normally. And they're going to try to, I guarantee you, the next Max the Impaler match, they are going to talk about how Amy Rose is a brilliant manager because she managed at one point in time the tag team champions, TV champion, and world champion all at the same time because LFI did all the goddamn work and she was just there to look good. This is absolutely ridiculous. Why would you, like, if you're Max, who didn't need a manager in the first place, and then you get a manager in Amy Rose, and the manager basically lets you disqualify yourself, if not encouraging you to disqualify yourself, I would beat the shit out of the manager. Like, what is wrong with you? But, guys, I've complained about this for long enough. Ness, how did you feel about this match?
You tagged me in to talk shit about this fucking stupid-ass match. So, pretty much what happened was what we thought was going to happen up until the finish. Of course, Angelina Love didn't have a fucking chance against Max the Impaler. Like, why would you even try to sell me that bullshit? And that's exactly how the match went. It went so well in that direction that, all right, so Angelina Love versus Max the Impaler is a speeding bullet train. What you think is going to happen in this match is exactly what's happening in this match. and it just keeps going faster and faster and faster. It goes so fast that the bullet train is accidentally being ran right now. It's not even finished track. If it goes all the way off, there's no finish. There's no track finish to this. If you don't stop it at a certain point, that thing's going to keep going. It's going to just go off a cliff and be a disaster. That's exactly what the fuck happened to the finish of this match. Because not only is Maxine Taylor still dominating, she's choking her out on the ropes. You keep going, you're going to get disqualified. And I'm saying, as it's getting closer to 5, oh, she's not going to let her go. They're not going to do that shit. That would be dumb. Why would you do that? 5, ref gives her another second to let go. Ring the bell. Yo, as soon as they ring the bell, I said, I know this not just fucking happened. You did not book literally the strongest person in this tournament to lose at their own hands. But then the small lining of this, and I still don't even agree with this shit. They're pushing Angelina Love to put over who she's going to Rok-C. I feel as though she's going to put over Rok-C. That's just my prediction so far. So this was the best way of having that happen. Of course, again, she's not going to beat Maxine Taylor, of course not. But I think they could have did it another way. Like
basically they watched early Nia Jax on Raw booking.
Pretty much.
And they were like, how do we lose a match without losing the match?
Yeah.
They should have done what WWE did, which was just have Nia Jax lose by countout. They should have had Max somehow lose by countout, as opposed to...
She could have knocked herself out in a way.
Something. And because not only does that protect Max as intelligence, like she's not a fucking retard to not listen to the goddamn ref, but at the same time, it puts over Angelina Love as the wily veteran who was able to find a way to put Max in the countout position. Yes. And Max just was not experienced enough to get out of the position and get back into the ring because of her own. She just rushed in, didn't see it coming. The veteran versus the brawn. That was a smarter way to do
that.
This.
That makes sense. But that shit that you gave us, Ring of Honor, that and the fact that it was in the title tournament, the Women of Honor title tournament. Like, you want to make your title feel important. You want to make people want to see this, want to appreciate whoever wins this tournament. This is not how you do it. Even a match that I particularly might not care for that's happened in this tournament, I still respected it because they went out there and had effort. I don't respect this at all. This is one of the dumbest things you've done so far pertaining to your women's division, and it's just fucking bad. It was bad.
Yeah, it was, and I think what made it even worse was the fact that it was followed by a really good match. And what we are talking about here is Tricia Dora taking on AK Allison Kaye. This is our other quarterfinal match. They are facing each other to determine who will take on Miranda Alizé, the Lucha baddie who has a key to Ness's heart. And of course, we know that this is going to be a good match. These are two ground and poundums / technicians. They're kind of jack of all trades. They have basically the same finishing move. It's like a reinforced clothesline. And I forget what Allison Kaye calls hers, but the Tricia Dora is always, I remember it now because of just the name is so great. You're
never going to forget it. Yeah, you're never going to forget the name.
So that's just awesome. So it's the battle of the clotheslines, and here this match is really, really good because you're expecting these two guys to have a powerhouse match. But instead, what they do is they take powerhouse match elements and combine it with much more of a technical wrestling setup. And we are having these two women exchange holds, exchange submission moves, and commentary does a really good job of getting over the fact that Allison Kaye and Tricia Dora are both skilled technicians. Because when you look at them, you're not expecting technical wrestling. You're expecting the brawling. You're expecting a much more powerhouse wrestling. So when these two kind of step out of the appearances kind of thing, the appearances aspect of it, it's really nice. And that also, in a way, is it's kind of lampshading the whole tournament and women's wrestling in and of itself, where the idea of appearances can be deceiving. When you look at some of these women, you're just like, oh, they may be really pretty, but they can't wrestle. No, they can. And this, you're looking at these two women saying, well, they can't have a technical match. Look at them. They're going to be brawlers. They're going to be more of a physical. No, they can. And this match goes 13 minutes and 50 seconds. And we finally know who will be facing Miranda Alizé. And in a stunning upset, I got to say, this is definitely an upset, Trish Adora is able to put Allison Kaye away. I don't think Allison actually hits her clothesline in this match. Like, she goes for it multiple times, and the finish is where she goes for it and Trish ducks and then reverses into her own clothesline. But this was a really good match, and it just this match, while you're watching it, you just think, wow, Angelina Love and Maxine Hiller could have been so much better. And it just makes you hate that match even more. But Ness, what did you think about this one?
Yeah, this was a fucking major, like a Moon Man bounce. That's how much further. Yeah, that was how much of a step up that this was from the fucking opener. Again, two world-class athletes in themselves, Tricia Dora and Allison Kaye. Great match, very, very physical. A lot of striking, but also very technical. A lot of grappling, a lot of submissions, a lot of exchanges between the two of them. We both didn't see Allison Kaye losing this match, but I like it. You hit us with a surprise. The surprise on a nice twist on a very great match. This might be one of my favorite matches of the title tournament so far, because it was so much on the line. Whoever wins, they make it to the semifinals, and then potentially the finals, and then potentially winning the whole thing. And again, they both mirror each other. They're both somewhat tall, I guess, for women. I don't mean to say it like that, but a nice height on them. Very similar build. Again, the same finisher, different names. Lariat, Tubman, can't go wrong with a name like that. You'll definitely remember it. But yeah, it was a very good match. And with this twist, can Tricia Dora get past Miranda Alizé? Now, that's a story in itself, because when they were in the tag match, I believe it was Miranda Alizé that had Tricia Dora in this. I think it was a Tequila Sunrise. Yeah. I don't know. I may just, was it? Yeah. And then that's how they won the tag match, by having Tricia Dora tap out to Miranda Alizé. I want to see if they play up on that during their match. And I'm just ready to see that.
Yeah. And this is actually a great time to just quickly segue into a little bit of Week by Week. On Week by Week, they played the promo videos for the next round of matches. And Angelina Love has a really great line in hers where she says and points out that she has been wrestling for longer than Rok-C has been alive. And on the other video, Miranda Alizé points out that her first match in Ring of Honor was against Tricia Dora, and she won. So both of them are coming in. Each one was like the not underdog, but the favored underdog, which is weird. It's a weird conundrum. But Alizé is both the favored and the underdog in her bracket. She already has a win over Tricia Dora. And on the other side, Rok-C has yet another hill to climb. And I got to say that in hindsight, we should have picked Tricia Dora, because because by picking Allison Kaye, had Allison Kaye won, it's the same story. It's the inexperience of Rok-C and Alizé versus the heavy veteran of Angelina Love and Allison Kaye. So when I was watching the Week by Week and I saw those videos, I was like, yeah, this would have been the same. It would have been back-to-back the same story.
Right.
So Ring of Honor did a solid by changing it up and saying, you know what, we're going to give Tricia Dora the nod as opposed to Allison Kaye and see what we can come up with it. So that was well done, and we'll talk about that after we talk who we think is going to win those. After we talk about this main event, this was a really strong championship match. This is Dragon Lee, our TV champion, my TV champion, Ness's TV champion, your TV champion, putting his ROH TV title on the line up against Infinite Eli Isom. And Eli Isom has earned this match. Eli Isom is ready for this match. Eli Isom has shown that sooner or later it's going to be his time. The question is whether or not this week it is his time. Do we have a new TV champion? And this is a match that has some great moments in here. Dragon Lee is using his technical ability and his submission game to try to keep Eli Isom grounded, keep him frustrated, but you can't keep somebody like Eli Isom down for too long. He's going to get those aerial moves. He's going to be able to keep things moving. And this match has a lot of key moments that continue to get Eli Isom over as an incredible babyface. Unfortunately, it is not his moment. It is not his time to pick up the win. Dragon Lee will successfully retain his title after 12 minutes and 25 seconds. He has to do a running flying knee with the knee exposed in order to put Eli Isom down. So props to Isom for continuing to push through and fight through and have that never give up or never say die attitude against Dragon Lee, but it just wasn't enough this time. And maybe next time it will be, but Isom is somebody who sooner or later is going to get his due. Ness, what did you think about this one?
Match of the night, clearly. Great from start to finish. We knew it was going to be a great match, and it felt like a main event caliber match. Again, Eli Isom has been climbing the rankings in the TV title division, just making that more of a name for himself within Ring of Honor. Dragon Lee, world-class athlete, television champion. So we already knew the match was going to be great. It's just like, what were they going to do? A lot of back and forth action. I love the tope from Eli Isom onto Dragon Lee. I like the late rotation because that's somewhat Dragon Lee does it sometimes like that. So it felt like, oh, anything you can do, I can do better. But then, at the end of the day, like I said last week's episode, it didn't matter to me who won. I was going to be the winner regardless of whoever won. But I'm a little happier that Dragon Lee retained. But man, I hope that Eli Isom keeps getting these looks. Every time he's in a match, he's been delivering on all cylinders. Pretty much every match I've seen him in since the revamping of Ring of Honor, he's just been doing great. Well, since I'll say his solo career, because at one point he was teaming up with Dalton Castle and Dak Draper. But and even in those matches, he was really gaining this traction as becoming one of the better performers in Ring of Honor at that time. So definitely want to see more for him post this, but Dragon Lee gotta roll with the house on this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. And so this week on Week by Week, they gave us a little bit of the backstage reactions from Taven and Vinnie after their last stand match at Glory by Honor, and good strong promo from Vinnie talking about how he's got his eyes set, saying that this was a great moment for him, but it was something he knew was going to happen. Now he has Taven's world title shot, and he wants to figure out when he's going to cash that in and take advantage of the moment. And Bandito, most wanted champion, man. He's got that fatal four-way, and if he can survive that, maybe Vinny's up next. And then Taven was losing it. Taven was like crying, almost like tears in his eyes, about just the history that he and Vincent have shared. And this is not what he expected to have happen. But did you get a chance to watch the match from this week's Week by Week?
Oh no, I didn't get the chance to watch it.
It was.
Well, actually, I did. Oh yeah. What I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I smoked. I definitely watched this. This is what you expected to be.
Yeah. I was gonna say there wasn't too much to write home about. The match itself is fine. It's the world famous CB Cheeseburger taking on Dalton Castle. The match is really more about Dalton Castle's character than it really has anything to do with Cheeseburger. But I want to say that I don't even think I was paying attention to the match. I was just listening to Dak Draper going back and forth with Caprice and Riccaboni on commentary, where they're talking about, like, because everybody the thing with Dalton is he's too busy to wrestle. He's too busy for this, that, and the other thing. And Dak Draper is talking about how they went to some kind of fondue tasting event the night before, and he was like, my fondue was solid by the time that Dalton brought it to me, because I was sitting in the car for the whole event because he wouldn't let me come in, but my fondue was still pretty good. And then he was talking about how they were raising money for a charity for space, so that space would have money to be able to take care of all of its needs. And I think it was Caprice was like, he's like, space will be fine without you guys. And he's like, but space is a really big place. They need a lot of money, Caprice. Like they need someone to take care of them, and that's what Dalton is doing. So it was almost more about the getting over of the gimmick and the character. And I gotta say that for Draper, it really does work, because he's just for somebody that size. But it's just for somebody that size to basically kind of be Dalton's bitch and being willingly is kind of funny. Like that part of it is just like you just look at Dak Draper and you're like, you're an idiot, but it's all right.
Yeah.
And our other big important piece of news coming out of Ring of Honor Week by Week is we now know the trio that will be taking on Violence Unlimited for answering Violence Unlimited's challenge. You guys remember, coming out of Death by Dishonor, they issued a challenge to any 3 pure wrestlers from the past, present, and future to face them in a 6-man tag match at Death by Dishonor. Glory by Dishonor, Death by Dishonor. Too much honor in Ring of Honor. They use that word a little bit too much sometimes. But
honor's real.
Honor's real. We were trying to figure out, how do you get the future of pure wrestling? And we have that answer now, because we know that the past will be represented by John Walters, a former Ring of Honor Pure champion, who we have seen here and there for a couple Pure Rules matches earlier this year. We know that the present will be represented by LSG, who is a strong choice to be in the match. And we know now that the future will be represented by none other than Lee Moriarty. And that is a really, really cool pick. I still don't think he's signed with any company. Actually, I think he's doing some work with MLW, but I don't know if he's 100% signed by them. So the fact that he's appearing here on Ring of Honor on a pay-per-view of all things is really cool. So I wanted to get your thoughts, Ness. What do you think about Lee Moriarty being part of this 6-man tag match with Violence Unlimited?
That's dope. That's a surprise. That's like kind of out of left field, because I thought that he possibly could be with MLW. So I've seen him at Battle Riot, but that's dope. That's decent. Now, which they don't really say or explain, but is this going to be, since these guys want to wrestle the best pure wrestlers, are they going to wrestle this in a pure rules match?
It is. I believe it is a pure rules match.
Okay, so that's another thing I want to see. Lee Moriarty's not only Lee Moriarty's pure wrestling skills, but I want to see that out of Chris Dickinson. I want to see that out of Homicide, and I want to see it out of who is it? Is it Brody or Tony Deppen?
It's Homicide, Dickinson, Deppen.
And Deppen,
because Brody's in that fatal 4-way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm high. So yeah, I definitely want to see that. The guys that we got to be violent all the time. We got to brawl. We want to fight. They have to wrestle a pure rules match. So that's going to be very intriguing.
Yeah, that is something that we are definitely going to be looking forward to by Death by Dishonor. Do you think? I know it's. Are you thinking of going to that one?
No, I got to go to the Conway concert that night. I
Oh,
was going to go.
Man. That's fair.
Yeah, once they had rescheduled the date or moved Death by Before Dishonor to Philly because they got to get down to Florida. Yeah. So I was like, shit, I want to go. But then I seen the date. I was like, fuck, can't go now.
Yeah.
But I'll catch it on the Honor Club.
Yeah. And just as a piece of news update, we want to, extend our condolences to the family of Daphne. As most of you guys know, she was experiencing some mental health issues, some emotional issues, and unfortunately it has not turned out well for her. And we wanted to just extend our thoughts and prayers with everybody to her family. Guys, wrestling is something that we use to take our minds off of the problems of the world. But sometimes we forget that the men and women who are providing us with that escape are individuals themselves. And for them, as much as they enjoy doing what they're doing, it is still a job. And it brings with it its own challenges. And those challenges and the pain that comes from it, both physical and mental, can extend for years, even after you are no longer in the ring. So we want to take this time, yes, thank you, Romeo, to remind everyone that if you are experiencing any problems or you feel as though you are not 100%, reach out to someone. Even if you think that they don't care or you think that they're going to be too busy, reach out to them. I guarantee you that those people will try to find time for you. And if they are unable to, keep reaching out. Find somebody else. Find somebody to talk to. And if you are part of this channel, you can reach out to any one of us. And I'm sure that I'm sure I can speak on behalf of all of us, where I can say that we will try to talk with you. We will try to chat with you and help you just be somebody who is there to listen. That sometimes it's all that people need. And it's very important as we are finding out through what happened with Daphne, what happened with Hana Kimura, where she took her own life after she experienced bullying, cyberbullying. And I know that Japan has pushed through laws to try to help people with that. But you always, even just because the government makes something illegal doesn't mean people are going to stop doing it. So if you are experiencing problems, reach out to someone and get the help. So just wanted to make sure that we said that. And also another piece of news, we want to give our best wishes to ROH on night 2 of Glory by Dishonor, when they were in that tag match with Bandito and Ray Horace. ROH experienced problems with his knee, and he had to be taken for surgery. And he's had surgery in Mexico. The exact nature of what exactly the injury is we don't know that right now. The knee is a very, anything about anatomy or physiology, the knee is a very complicated joint. You have your ACL, PCL, MCL, like there's just so much that is going on in your knee and the cartilage and tendons. So we don't know exactly what it is. We don't know the recovery time either. And it's really unfortunate, considering he is somebody who his contract was going to be coming up the beginning of next year. And there was a lot of rumor that he and Dragon Lee were going to maybe be making the switch to AEW. And whether they were or weren't, this puts a hold on all of that, and it
Yeah.
puts a hold on his time in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor has made the change to the card for Death Before Dishonor. It was originally going to be STP versus the three main members of LFI, but now it's going to be Bestia stepping in for Roosh. So yeah, we're hoping that everything works out fine with Roosh, and it's really kind of unfortunate because it seems like either Roosh or Dragon Lee now is picking up some kind of injury along the way that is slowing down the progress of LFI. But Ness, I don't know if I didn't want to, like if you have anything that you want to add about either of those
No,
two.
you wanna know what it is them carrying the fucking load for LFI with Bestia and Kenny King. That's it. Like they're the ones that's Bruce and Lee can't do it on their own, But yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks in all this, from rest in peace, Daphne. Again, your sentiments, I'm not even gonna try to follow that. You just said everything that I felt. You guys, if you need someone to talk to, we're always here for you. But now it's also another hurt piece that I want to see this match, man. I want to see fucking LFI versus the real LFI, not Bestie. No.
Hey, I mean, if you think he's their dad, though,
yeah, but I wanted to see Roosh. I wanted to see Roosh, Lee, and Kenny King versus STP. That was going to be a great match. I still think it's going to be a good match, but I wanted Roosh to be in this. I wanted to see Roosh versus Shane Taylor. Lee versus, doesn't even matter, any of those guys. Roosh versus any of those guys. And I'm just giving shit to Kenny King, but even Kenny King versus just the interactions is in itself made hype this match up for me.
Yeah.
Now, Roosh is now out. I seen that he's not competing for the rest of 2021. Really no timetable for 2022 at this point either. But hopefully sometime whenever he returns, if it's possible, we can still get this match again.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are fans of the NFL in any way, shape, or form, you guys know that if there's some kind of you tear your ACL or PCL or MCL, there's some issues there. Not only does the recovery time take a long time, but also just because you're supposed to be recovered doesn't necessarily mean you're back 100%. Yeah. So there's a lot of time that Roosh is going to need. Luckily, he's very young. So it's not like, he still has a lot of his career ahead of him, but you never want to see people get hurt, especially in their prime. And right. So we're giving the best wishes to him and his family. And if anything, this just means that there's more pressure on Dragon Lee to be a great TV champion for however long he is TV champion, because now he is not just the lead, he is the leader of LFI, but he is the flag bearer. Not just the leader directing the others. He has to be the one out there having the great matches. The match with Eli Isom is a great way to do that. Now that happened before, all of the injury stuff. But yeah, so we don't want to leave you on a on such a somber note. So we will say that the rest of Glory by Honor is looking like a really, really great card. That fatal four-way match is going to be absolutely bonkers. And I'm looking forward to the tag match between the Briscoes and the OGK for sure. So let's talk about the next round of the women's tournament before we get out of here. So what do you think about Rok-C and Angelina? And what do you think about Miranda Alizé, Tricia Dora? I think that Tricia Dora beats Miranda Alizé and Rok-C beats Angelina, and our finals are Rok-C, Tricia Dora. That's what I'm going with.
I'm going to go with it as well, only because I like the idea of it. Now, when it comes to Rok-C, I have her going over for sure. Tricia Dora and Miranda Alizé, now that's a weird one for me.
Yeah.
Because Miranda and Alizé can have Tricia Dora's number. You know, you never know. Like that can be a story that they play in. But I would like to see Tricia Dora go over, because spearheading into this, we've pretty much figured that it was going to be Rok-C versus Miranda Alizé in the finals.
Yeah.
Just because they've been so high up on them. But now, since they played into it, that Tricia Dora hasn't beat Miranda Alizé, and if they're pretty much throwing that story out of there, they can give us the swerve, and Tricia Dora does beat Miranda Alizé. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely ready for it.
Yeah, guys, it's gonna be a good matchup, and yeah, we'll have to see how exactly all of this shakes out. But that's going to be something we cover next time. And once again, we want to thank you for tuning in this time and next time. So, Ness, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. One half of Fusion of Honor, where my man is StatKing, the man of 1,004 numbers, where we review MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. Catch me on Blunt Impact with Joyce Jabroni. Catch me on Blunt Impact and Joyce Jabronis with Chris G. Shout out to the StatKing. Special guest running. Save the show. Got us a lot of views. Got us some.
I don't know if it was the best views.
Hey,
shout out to Certified Hustler.
Yeah. Definitely got us some super chats. Shout out you, my boy Blue. Yeah, great show. Reviewing Impact. Catch me on NX3, where we review NXT. It's myself, Romeo Anthony Colon, and once again Chris G. Yeah.
I gotta say, having Romeo in here is because we don't normally have him in here is really really
this
useful.
is getting all the feelings out. Also coming up all this weekend, we have the Everything AEW watch alongs. Friday Night Warriors tomorrow night. Well, tonight, because we're recording this at literally, well, for me it's 12:53 in the morning. For StatKing, it's about to be midnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got AEW Friday Night SmackDown watch alongs. We have the preview today for the AEW All Out pay-per-view. We have the watch along. Once again, we're not showing the pay-per-view. We're not showing it for you guys. So don't act like you're going to watch along with us. You buy it, you watch it, you interact with us while you're watching it. And then Monday, we have the live roundtable for All Out.
Yeah, guys, and this is going to be it's going to be a great week, great weekend for all of wrestling. So you guys can catch me on Dark Power, where we cover everything that happens on AEW Dark, Elevation, and NWA Power. And of course, always here, Fusion of Honor. Just glad that we had some MLW news this week.
Finally.
Yeah. So get a little bit of news of what's going to happen when we all journey to Fightland together, October 2nd. They were, remember earlier today they give me a lot of shit for Tony Khan putting everything in Chicago, but Ring of Honor and MLW seem to love Philadelphia. They love Philly.
We're a great crowd. 2,300 arenas. It goes down.
All 25 of you.
It was 40.
But yeah, no, guys, it's gonna be some great shows. We're looking forward to covering it when MLW comes back with Fightland. I'm sure that's going to be some really great stuff. I think they're actually doing some TV tapings really soon too as well. So hopefully we'll get some news coming out of that, of everything that's going to be happening. So until next time, for myself, the StatKing, for the three-time baby-making champ, Ness, this has been another edition of Fusion of Honor. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, as always, to take care of yourselves and each other. And we will catch you guys later. Peace.